Alright guys, we got an 84 944 that just came into the shop. So this is the 84. It's come in for a lot of work. Gonna try and get it running right. Replace some seals, some gaskets, and he's thinking about a paint job and restoring the Fuchs. Quick look at the interior. Probably clean the interior up as well, install a new radio, things like that. He said that the radio was straight wired to the battery here, so I'll try and clean all that up. Alright guys, this 944 just arrived at the shop. Basically I'm going to be going through and cleaning this car up from top to bottom. It does run and drive, but unfortunately there aren't any brakes. You can see that the reservoir is empty there, and there's also an oil leak up here at the cam tower, so I'm going to go through and replace the head gasket and all the seals and things like that while I'm in there. And he wants this car to be in close to concourse condition, not absolutely perfect but close. So I'm going to be cleaning up all this wiring in the engine bay, and then we're going to be stripping this car down so that way we can repaint it. And there is a load of work to do in the interior as well, as you can see, but I believe that for the most part all the stuff is here. I'll just have to replace the center console and things like that, and maybe do something with the carpet. But we'll just see what we can do. This car has Fuchs and a Saratoga top, which is pretty nice. But anyway, can't wait to get started on this one. It should be a pretty fun project, and hopefully it won't take us very long. So alright guys, I got it up on ramps now, and I figured before I got started I'd walk around and show you guys what we're going to be doing. This is one of the few cars that have come in here that actually runs and drives, and it starts up great. So I was able to drive it up on the ramps, which was nice. But anyway, it looks like we've got an oil leak right here at the cam tower that's dripping down on the exhaust. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this cam tower off, clean everything up, and I figured we'd go ahead and do the head gasket while we're at it. Other than that, I think this engine's going to be great. We're going to do the oil cooler seals, of course, along with the belts, and then I'll have to see what's going on with the brakes. But outside of that, I think it's mechanically sound. Next, he does want to have this car painted, and you can see that there's some aftermarket fog lights in here. I'm going to go pick up a set of the OEM fog lights, and you can see that the valance is busted here, so I'll get a valance as well. And you can see this car was resprayed at some time in the past, and there's some overspray on the condenser. I'll try and clean some of that up. But outside of that, this car is pretty straight. There is some clear coat peeling here and a small ding in the hood that should be easy to fix. Back here there are a few issues, but nothing serious. It looks like this quarter panel was repaired here before, and it just isn't all that straight. It's kind of bowed right there. I'll try and fix that. You can really see it right there. And if you come back here, it looks like it was struck here, and there's also a big dent. This doesn't look like it's going to be too hard to fix. So outside of that, this car is really straight. So this side here is pretty much perfect. And then I'm also going to be working on the interior here. As I mentioned, I'll be trying to find a new carpet, a new console, and things like that. But I think everything is pretty much here. I just need to put it all together and make sure that the gauges work. Sorry guys, you may remember that I mentioned that this balance is split here and here. So I went down and picked up another one yesterday that's in much better shape. And I also picked up some factory fog lights. And up here, I have some new parts. Building a few engines at the moment, so I've got a bunch of belts, some new oil filters, some new rollers, some new water pump guide rails, water pump gasket, some air oil separator seals, engine reseal kit, some more rollers, rod bearings, some motor mounts, and then I have some head gasket sets. I already had one, but I'm building two engines, so I needed two. Then I have bottom end gasket set here. And then finally I got this box here. We have another oil cooler gasket set. We have some thermostats and more rollers. So alright guys, today I'm going to be breaking this engine down. You can see we've already got the airbox out, and with the J-boot removed, we've got a better view of this oil leak here, which appears to be coming from the cam tower. So what I'm going to do today is go ahead and remove the fuel rail here and the intake, so that way I can get in there and change all the gaskets. And he wants this engine to look really nice, so what I'm going to do is send some of these parts off like this to be replated, and when I get them back, it should look like this. So normally what I'll do when I'm breaking down an engine is put everything in a marked Ziploc bag, and that allows me to put everything back together quicker. But in this case it's being sent to the plater, so I'm just going to be chucking everything into a bucket here. So alright, I've got the intake off now, and as you can see it's a big mess up underneath here, but we'll get it all cleaned up. Alright, I got the cam tower off now, and you can see just how badly this gasket was leaking. So next we'll remove the head. It's alright, one of the bolt heads stripped out, so I'm just going to take a grinder and cut it off. There you go. And once I remove the head, I'll be able to remove the stud. Alright, and now I have the head off the car, and next I'll go ahead and remove this stud. So now that I have the cylinder head off, I can see that there's some scoring on cylinder number 2. The rest of the cylinders look to be in pretty good shape, but I am concerned that there might be a foreign object down in there, or perhaps the rings are broken. So I think the best thing to do at this point is to just go ahead and pull the engine and see what's going on. Alright, there's the water pump. I had to take this hose with it because I believe that someone has put some RTV sealant on there or something. You can see they don't even have the pipe on there all the way. Anyway, alright, we got Luke here removing the radiator. So alright, today we're going to be pulling the engine. I'm first going to lift it up just a little bit so that way we can unbolt the engine mounts. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and pull it. So alright, Luke just finished removing the engine mounts, and you can see that one of them's come apart. So last night I had Luke remove the bumper and the lower front balance since it's cracked. We're going to be replacing it with this blue one here, and also replacing his fog lights with the factory ones since there were some aftermarket ones in there. He also got the engine unbolted from the mounts, and we got it raised up now. So today we're going to be removing the cross member and then dropping the engine and hopefully getting it on stand. So alright guys, today we're going to be dropping the engine out of this car. We've got it raised up with the wheels off. I'll take you down here and show you around. You can see the C-clip is missing from the speedometer cable, and it has new tie rods on here. You can see the nuts loose. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the tie rod here and then unbolt the A-arm from the cross member, and then on the opposite side here we'll unbolt the cross member but leave the suspension attached for the most part, and then drop the cross member out and slide it out that way with the strut and everything attached on this side. And then we'll just lower the engine out on the ground and use a piece of cardboard to slide it out and get it on the stand. Alright, we got the cross member removed now. Next we're going to go ahead and remove the power steering pump and the grounds on the back of the engine block. Then we'll lower it down onto the ground and then take it in the shop. Alright, we got this engine in the shop now. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the bell housing so we can get it on the stand. So alright guys, we got the engine out of this car last night and it's sitting in the shop. We'll try and get it on the stand today. For now I thought I'd give you a look around the engine bay. Oh, that is stuck. I don't envy people trying to do this in their car. Find out what the clutch looks like. When I drove the car, clutch felt good, but could be the original rubber centered disc in here. Alright, so it looks like we have an original rubber centered clutch here. So alright guys, I have this engine broken down now and you can see the scored cylinder there. I don't believe I'm going to be able to hone it out, so I asked the owner what he wanted to do since I have several blocks laying here and he's decided that he wanted to have it sleeved. So I'm going to take it to the machine shop tomorrow and have that done. You can see the piston sitting here. The rings are in good shape, so that isn't what caused the issue. Something must have gotten down in there. And as I mentioned, it's just a little too deep to try and hone out. So alright guys, today I'm going to take this block to the machine shop and have them clean it up and install a steel sleeve. And over here I have the head. I'm going to also have them clean this up and rebuild it as well. So alright guys, I'm here at the machine shop, and down here I have the engine I'm going to have sleeved. And over here we have the white Euro 944 engine. I'm going to have these cleaned up, and I'll just take you around and let you look at the parts. But anyway, for now, that's just about going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like to stay up to date with some of the projects we're working on around the shop, be sure to join us on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description below. And I also want to thank everyone who supports the channel on Patreon, since these videos wouldn't be possible without you. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.